Hi there, I heard you want to learn how to make music. Well, I can show you. It's a really easy process. A baby could get this done, honestly. This is a tutorial for a fucking baby. Ain't nothing new, ain't nothing new. Alright, let's go. So first up, we got our FL Studio. We're using the latest version, I believe. If not, then it's okay. Who gives a fuck? You can do this shit on FL12 if you really wanted to. We do have a couple of settings that we want to change though. So you're just gonna have to follow along with me as we actually get into that, okay? First things first, we're gonna go into our options and we're going to audio options, and we're gonna make sure that we have everything set up right here. So we're gonna make sure that we have FL Studio ACO enabled for our program. We don't want to use any other program, and that includes like the audio interface that you have. There will be some ACOs that will come free with your audio interface. You won't have to use that. You won't have to use any of your voice meters or anything like that. It's only in rare cases that in which audio chips in the computer are fucked up, in which you will have to use something different. But normally, FL Studio ACO will do the job perfectly. And the reason why we don't use the one that is with our audio interface is because we're going to be using the audio interface directly to be hearing off of FL Studio ACO. So we put that in there and it's going to be perfectly fine. Next up, we're going to make sure that the buffer length isn't too much. So 256 is the lowest that I have for mine. I know that there's ones that have 0 and like are completely without buffer or anything like that, but it's just how I need it on the buffer, and I don't want to have that much buffer on my shit. So, and you don't gotta worry about any of this. Just make sure that everything is set up on what you will be hearing and what you'll be recording on. So the input is gonna be our microphone. So we're gonna make sure that that is my audio interface, which is connected to my microphone. We're also gonna make sure that our speakers are hearing through my audio interface headphones connected directly. So you know what I mean. And that's all good right there. Next up, we're just gonna make sure that it's all good here. Honestly, it's highest priority, you know what I'm saying, hybrid, whatever. I changed my offset a bit because I have a bit of a problem with my offset. But right now I'm gonna kick it back up just to show y'all what the default's gonna look like. It's gonna be 0 ms. If you want to change yours just because your computer's a little off, or maybe you have your own preferences in recording, you're gonna be able to come back here in a bit and see what you can change and what you can't change, this and that, the fourth. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure it's right. For our sample rate, it is very recommended to have the highest possible, to have the highest quality music exported. But honestly, I have mine at 48,000 just so I don't have to lag out my computer. It's more so just not to avoid crashing. I'll like make all my music within a lower sample rate, but then I'll export in a higher and then also in a higher bit value, which is something I'll get explained to you much further on. But you don't got to worry about any of this. All you got to worry about is just at least 4800 sample hertz, you know, FL Studio ACO, and then have it set up on this extra panel that we have right here, and then we'll be completely fine after that. So once you got all of that set up, next up, you're gonna want the beat that you're gonna use. So before we bring in our actual beat itself, we have to make sure that I'm looking at the same FLP that a normal user would be looking at. So the first things first is we're gonna make sure that our FL isn't being, you know, stupid or anything like that. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna see these uncharted drum patterns. We're gonna make sure to take them off their drum patterns. So we're gonna drag down for each of these because we're not gonna need them at all, and they're already taking space up on the mixer. Next up, we're gonna go to this part right here. That's gonna be our mixer. We're gonna go into the master. This is our master right here. We click on the master, and we're gonna go over here to the right side where our effects tab is. We're gonna eliminate Fruity Limiter. We're not really big fans of Fruity Limiter around here. Doesn't really do its job. Now, this is the most simple master thing you're ever gonna need. Honestly, if you're gonna start out and not do that much, this is all you need. You ready? Fruity Soft Clipper right here. This thing right here always clutches up. Very easy to use. Just close it out. You're good to go. You're good to start recording. Next up, we're going to take this. This is our first insert right here. We go to none over here on the right side, and then we're going to click 1. Now we can hear ourselves. And that's perfect. But now we need to set it up so we can record. Because if you hear this, then you're like, wow. You can hear everything around you. Look. You can hear me over here. You can hear me over here. So what you want to do is you want to go on your slot 10. I don't really care. Whatever. Slot 10. Go into your Fruity Limiter. Go
Go
into
into
noise
noise
gate.
gate.
You're
You're
gonna
gonna
like
like
up the
up the
threshold a
threshold a little
I
bit.
don't
I
even
don't even
remember.
remember.
And then
And then
up the
up the
gain.
gain.
So
So
the
the
threshold
threshold
is like
is like
how
how
much
much
is gonna
is
be
going to be
used.
used.
And then the
And then the
gain
gain
is how
is
much
how
it's
much
gonna
is going to
reduce of the
reduce of the
noise
noise
that
that
you
you
like put up
put
for the
up for the
threshold.
threshold.
So you
So
turn
you
this
turn
all the
this
way
all the way
down.
down.
Now you
Now
can't
you
hear
can't hear
shit. You
shit.
can't
You
hear
can't hear
any
any
of
of
the
the
air.
air.
So
So
clean.
clean.
So
So
clean.
clean.
Hold on.
Hold on.
You hear
You hear
none.
none.
You don't
You
hear
don't hear
shit.
shit.
So
So
once you got
once
that
you got
set
that
up,
set up,
you can
you
close
can
it
close
out.
it out.
And
And
now,
now,
so you
so you
don't hear
don't hear
yourself,
yourself,
you turn
you turn
this
this
knob all
knob
the way
all the way
down on
down
the
on
left
the left
side, right
side,
here.
right here.
Now, you don't hear me doubling because I have it so that it's not monitoring me when I'm like recording, but you can also still record onto the program itself. So you don't hear yourself when you're like doing all that shit. But yeah, super simple chain for recording. Now, something you can add is like EQ, but you don't really need that shit right now. You only need that shit in like certain circumstances when you're recording a certain type of beat, whatever than that. So yeah, we don't need that right now. If you want to hear yourself at any point when you're recording, you just turn this up, and it'll be fine. Like you'll be good. Now that you got all of that set up and we're chilling, you can now bring in the beat itself. You're gonna want to drag and drop, and you got your beat. And it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? You get your beat off of YouTube. Maybe you bought the beat. Maybe you got a beat from a friend, or maybe you got it off of Discord, whatever the fourth. It doesn't really matter. Just get your beat in whatever way. That's not for me to tell you how to do. You're just gonna have to figure it out yourself. Know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to figure out what is the BPM of the beat. Now this is a method that is really hard to like for people to like learn. But this is how I learned it. It's really easy to me. I think it's the easiest way to like find a BPM. And if you can't find a BPM this method, I recommend that you use a website like TuneBat or something like that to find a BPM and key if you can't figure it out. But I do recommend using this method I'm about to do right here because it's really useful. So here we go. We're gonna listen to the beat and then I'm gonna tell you how I'm gonna find a BPM. Okay, so right off the bat, I can hear that there's claps in this beginning section. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to a part where there's a clap. I'm gonna choose the second part right here because this is where you can see the direct audio file in the waveform right here, where it hits the clap exactly. So we're gonna cut that right here. We're gonna grab this tool right here, cut it like this, go back to our draw tool, and then eliminate this. Make sure that our green magnet is none. That's our snap right there. We're gonna drag this all the way back to the beginning. Make sure that it's on the exact waves, like start of the clap, like on the exact start of the clap. So I believe it's right here. You don't gotta be exactly perfect, but you know you wanna try that. Next up, I'm gonna show you how I find all the BPMs for all the beats I use. So as you see here, there's a gray and then a dark gray and then a gray and a dark gray. Now these are the bars. Now each column in between is called a beat. So 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beat, 4 beat, 5 beat, 6 beat, 7 beat, 8 beat. 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bar, 4 bar. And what you see here is that there's gonna be a clap for each other beat. So a clap here and then a clap here. Oh, I lied. It's a clap here and then a clap here. It's every 4 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's a clap here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, clap. So what you want to do is you want to change the BPM so that it aligns with the clap itself. And now that it's aligned, you can now click on the magnet and then click beat and then drag back into the middle section right here where the clap usually is. So it's going to be 1, 2, clap, 1, 2, clap, 1, 2, clap, 1, 2, clap. So you want to bring this back. Perfect. And then bring this back even more. And then bring this back even more. And now you have found the BPM of your thing, I think. On tweaking. Okay, somehow I got it fucking wrong. I fucked it up. It's really weird. It's really weird if you don't know how to do like how to make music or whatever just yet. But like once you got it down, then it's really easy to find like the BPM for anything, honestly. But yeah. I'm noticing that. Wow, I'm fumbling even on recording. That's so fucking that's so embarrassing. Okay. You can always back it up as long as you know what you're doing. Like in these cases, then you can always just fix it. And I think I found the actual BPM, which is 133 in this case. Perfect. You can do that shit from the beginning, from the clap, whatever. It's just you have to like, you know, figure it out rhythm wise and visual wise. It's gonna be one of those tricks that once you get it down, then it's pretty easy to do from there on out. But yeah, no, that's pretty much how you like set it up. Next up, I'm going to show you how to record and I'm going to show you how to mix. So for recording, we're going to choose the mixer right here. We're going to highlight the mixer that we're going to use for recording. As you see here, it already says the thing is turned on. So make sure that this is turned on so you know that you're going to be recording on that track. Close up your mixer. You're going to click on this section right here where it's like the little recording button. It's going to ask you how you want to record, and you're going to say audio into playlist as an audio clip. Because what happens is that when you record it, it's going to be on the playlist itself. So, you know, you press that. It gives you a metronome start. And now you're being recorded into the thing. And as you see here, it's a waveform right here. Metronome start. And now you're being recorded into the thing. Very easy to use, very easy. And now I'm gonna record some quick takes as example to show y'all. Okay, so if you give me just a second, I got ya. Awesome. Thank you for recording your first lines. Congratulations, you just started recording your first lines. Isn't that awesome? Music is so fun. Honestly, if you ask me, music is honestly one of the best things to ever be introduced to my life in general. I'm not even gonna lie. So now that you have your audio recording, you're gonna hear it back real quick. So just give a quick listen to it. They try to carry my flow, carry my swag. Yeah, we getting so much money, got personal bags. Okay, so now that you got that there, you're gonna make sure that it's aligned with what you said. It's aligned to the beat and it's not off beat. So they try to carry my flow, carry my swag. Yeah, we getting so much money, got personal bags. Honestly, it already sounds like it's on beat, but just to make sure that if it usually records over here, just make sure to drag it back into its original position. If it's like moving in squares for you, make sure that you have your none selected when you choose the green magnet. So make sure it's just like that. And we getting so much money, got personal bags. We getting so much money, got personal bags. Perfect. Now you got it completely aligned. Next up, I'm going to show you how I mix. It's not really, I don't really like lock in when it comes to mixing. I don't really give a fuck unless it's like a really like big project. So I'm gonna give you guys a gift. It's a gift from me. It's original preset was made by Terran42. Shout out Terran though. He helped me how to make my first mix. And from there on out, I just, you know, built onto it. I added some things that accommodate my voice a little more. So you will have to like change it up a bit. I'm gonna grab this for y'all. And you guys can download this off the description in the video. And this is my mix right here. So we got a thing called a vocal enhancer. This is basically like beginning sauce, whatever, like first sauce that you'll find out. And what it does is it gives it more vocal presence. In fact, we're going to put this on vocal enhancer. What it does is gives the thing more presence. Let's give it a listen without it. Hold on. They try to carry my flow and carry my swag. Okay, now with the vocal enhancer. They try to carry my flow and carry my swag. A lot better. There's a lot more high end than that, giving it more presence. Next, we're going to add a de-esser. They try to carry my flow and carry my swag. It's not really strong in this case, but you can change your de-esser. You can add any sort of de-esser, by the way. If you have like Spitfish or something like that, it doesn't really matter. I use, damn, I forgot what it's called. whatever. It doesn't really matter. You just choose whatever. And this is the same thing for your auto tune and some other things that I'm about to show in a second. So you know what I'm saying, next up we got the auto tune. The auto tune is something that we're gonna have to configure ourselves. So this is one of the main things that I'm gonna show you today. What you're gonna need is either a website that can find a key for you, like TuneBat, or what I like to use is Antari's auto tune. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the playlist, which is this button right here. Double click this, put it on a track or a mixer, and then we're gonna add our auto key on the effects rack. Next up, we're gonna press play or space so we can take a listen to what the beat key is. Okay, F minor. Beautiful beat, by the way. Shout out Paymos. So we got that going on, and once we press the button called send to autotune, and now we have it sent to our autotune. I have a thing where I have 0 retune speed and none of these like actually messed with, unless I have to detune the beat itself, which is a little bit of tech that you won't get to know about today. But detune is something that I'm willing to teach in the future if you guys want to learn about it and think that you're sounding off on beats, even though you think the key is correct. I can show you about that in the future if you want. But right now we're just gonna stick to like normal, and we're gonna go back to our vocals and hear it with the autotune. So this is without autotune. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. Perfect. We're gonna turn on the autotune. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. And now it sounds like it's on the right key for the autotune. They try to. Next up, I use a flanger. This is so that I add more presence in the mono section, so that it feels like it's more in presence and more low end is added into it. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. So now you feel like it's like I'm like in your face telling you this. Next up, we got my own EQ. Now you can click on this and like figure out what's going on with your own voice. So it's a process that most people know when they're recording their vocals or mixing their vocals. So I'm gonna turn the autotune off. We're gonna take a quick listen to my voice. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. I'll forget to turn on the actual thing. Don't forget to turn it on. Don't be dumb like me. But you want to take a listen? They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. You see there's some harsh frequencies that are going on here. So you're going to take one of these. You're going to scroll wheel down all the way until it's super skinny. You're going to take a listen and find some harsh frequencies. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my... It's not that harsh, but we're going to turn it down just a little bit. You just want to find like sections for each node in which there are harsh frequencies. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. So like that, you don't really want to hear all that. But there's not much of it either, so we're not going to worry about it too much. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. Right here, it's super strong, so we're going to close that down a little bit. They try to kaya my flow and kaya... They try to kaya my... Don't mess that up. Okay. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. They try to kaya my flow. And I think there's not much to work with on the high-end section. This is for vocal presence. I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if you want to really turn it down because you think there's too much vocal presence on that, you can either turn your vocal enhancer down or turn this section down or turn this section down. I do have a lot of that going on, so I do apologize in advance if it's not up your speed. It's just how my thing works. Next up, we got our Maximus. Basically, like the enhancer, it just adds a little more presence to it. It makes it sound better. Just a lot more going on in that. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. And then with it turned on, they try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. Just like a cherry on top type vibe. Next up, we got our compression, which is going to be our main source for controlling the volume of our main vocals because it's all going to be used under the same thing. But now that we got everything set up, but our compression is going to make sure that we have all of our volume things set up. As you see here, I already have something set up for y'all. I'm not going to really get in, like explain much, but basically the sound is crunched down by the compressor volume wise, and it all levels it together. So you put it all on the same track, all your main vocals on the same track, all your ad-libs on the same track. Make sure that you always configure the compression so that they're not always like clipping or higher volumes in other parts of the song and doesn't like all mix up together. So here's that. They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. And now it's gonna be the same thing for like the whole song. Next up, we got vocal delay. You can turn this off if you want, but this adds a lot of texture to my music in specific You can turn it off if you want. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
They try to kaya my flow.
It's very heavy, so if you want, turn it off.
They try to kaya my flow.
If you want, it's all up to you. I like it on because it's just more to work with. Next up, we got our reverb. This is a really strong reverb, as you see right here. It doesn't seem like it's very strong, but it has high wet, low dry. Just make sure you're not using it way too much when you're putting it on all these things. So you want to take a quick listen with the reverb.
They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide.
It's all coming together now. And next up, we got a little bit of distortion. This is something that you can take out as soon as you get it. I just like having a little bit of distortion just for a little more presence. Distortion, however, is taken off on my preset when I use something like ad-libs, if I want to use some stereo enhancer, or if I want to use some stereo shaper, or any sort of panning, I will take off my distortion for whatever reason. If it's extra effects, it was just an extra section of my preset. And yeah, that's the official Juanono preset. And here's how it sounds complete.
They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide.
And now we're going to take a listen with the beat. Or hopefully, if I got it right, in which I know I got it right, fuck you, it's going to sound good.
They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. Yeah. We getting so much money, got personal bags.
Now, there is a couple of changes I would make here, like upping it on the compression. So going to the gain and adding a little more.
They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. Yeah. We getting so much money, got personal bags.
Now it sounds better. And now I can record a full song and not worry about the mix too much until the very end of the recording. Now I do recommend if you're very new to FL, if you'd want to follow this in step by step, I wouldn't say go fully step by step. Make sure you have a friend with you that can make music, that knows how to do it, that can follow along with you. Or maybe just look up other tutorials, because just looking up other tutorials and learning about, music and how to do it is always like good step. You know what I mean? Like a good thing to do. We're always learning. Even the best of producers are always learning. I don't know shit. This is like down in the dumps type tutorial. I'm just some random guy that like got a couple viral songs off of doing what I just do. And it's always good to learn more and more and more. There's never like, oh, I reached the peak of FL Studio, because you will never reach that peak of FL Studio. There is no peak of FL Studio. It's an ongoing mountain that you will never overcome. So yeah, thank you for watching this. I ain't got nothing else to say. It's really all love. I appreciate all the support as of recently. I know TikTok's going down. I won't be moving to anything. Maybe like Lemon 8 in the future, or Instagram Reels. But I'd really have to change everything in my own like personal being. Like I really have to change my whole sound and everything, and the way I promote, in order to like not get hate comments on such things like Instagram Reels or Xiao Hongshu. It's really just something that's gonna leave me pondering for a while. And I appreciate the patience, whatnot. Yeah, thank you guys so much, and thank you for watching. You're awesome. Go make music, go make games, go make something. Be an artist. Live your life. It's all love.
They try to kaya my flow and kaya my slide. Yeah. We getting so much money, got personal bags. But it comes to grind the way that I could lag. Earn so much and I'm off a lot of love. Big ones spent up on these big guns. Yes, I find this money, I just made some victims. On a mission with Shawty, I don't